you built a huge, man, like audience, like you said it earlier, without Netflix, without HBO, or the traditional system of how everybody would go through it. How do you stay independent? Was that by choice?
Yeah, definitely by choice. The first thing when I had the first 2 specials on Comedy Central, while I went independent, I posted a video clip of the promotion of me on Comedy Central to promote the special. Because Comedy Central, they were running these specials kind of weird at 11:59 at night, Eastern Standard Time. So it would be, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock LA time. And it's not getting the viewership, So I say, well, let me promote my special and put it out there. And then they flag me for copyright infringement of my own likeness and face. So I was like, nah, that ain't solid. Because how I'm supposed to promote it? How people gonna see it if I don't say nothing about it?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, when we reached out to them, they said, well, we own it.
So they own your NIL, basically, your name, image, and likeness
for what they did on their page.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that somebody telling me that they owned something that was mine, that my material, it did something to me. That word, we own it.
Yeah,
just bothered me.
That's different.
So I said, well, you own that, your likeness of what you did, what you shot, but you don't own the words. The material is mine. So I was like, from that point on, I was like, yo, I'm gonna have to just do my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's companies that tried to buy specials from me. We good, and I'm almost offended now when people say, well, I saw you on Netflix. I was like, no, you didn't. You didn't see me on Netflix. Netflix told me my stuff wasn't good enough to be on their network.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, they turned down a couple of my specials. I was like, I'm cool. I told my manager to stop shopping my stuff to Netflix because I see right now what's happening. They'll see some of my stuff, and it's like they gathering their comics together. I'm like, yo, all right, we need one of you niggas to cry. we need one of y'all to cry. We need somebody to tell a prison story. Somebody got to go to jail. Something got to happen because this prison nigga is killing us. So no, and then I switched.
Yeah.
After we did the domino effect, then I started going to other parts of my life because this is a progression of where I come from all the way through to how my career is now. So I keep doing things like my 2 sons is nominated. It's crazy to me.
NAACP award, right?
Yeah,
that's major. That's crazy.
That's not even for me though. That's like a road for independents that think that they having a hard time doing their thing and they want to give up because it's always a time that in your career that you just want to stop pursuing something that you really want to do, and then you get a little nugget that another log in the fire to push you on. So for independents that think they couldn't be nominated, and it's a whole nother boost because I had stopped submitting. I was gonna stop submitting to the Emmys. I was gonna stop submitting to the Grammys. I was gonna stop submitting. I'm like, man, I'm tired of giving that submission bread up, and for them not to, they not even looking. You know what I'm saying? They just seeing the names that's already on there and just voting for those names. Give you a example. Say your first year in the league was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You was going crazy. So what happened if you don't go to the All-Star games because they not looking at your game? Because you playing, you out there playing.
We're in Denver at the moment.
You know what I'm saying? You doing your thing, but they not even looking at your game. They just picking the same people that they always were picked.
That's on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, and people saying, Carmelo is going nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Who that? But you supposed to be the people that's supposed to know who out there doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they just overlooking you only because you in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Not your game. You got the stats, you got the number, you got all the things.
Right.
But because somebody else is playing in LA we gonna pick him, or New York, we gonna pick him because they are just the familiar market. That'll do something to you. You like, yo, man, what y'all got going on? Why I gotta go to another place in order to be an all-star when I'm putting up when the all-stars are, when the people who you picking coming to the gym and I'm playing in their gym and I'm smoking them. So no love for that. You like, wow. So they keep picking the same people all the time. So I was gonna stop submitting. Then I got this nomination. Then I said, you know something? Let me keep plugging at it. And just like when people talk about numbers, man, we paid a little money to get the numbers on what people doing. And
on Netflix.
And they viewership on every network. we know every network. I just be sitting back letting people talk. I'm like, oh, that's what you got? Not according to this.
Not according to this data.
Right here, you got this number. You say your special was trending. Nah, it wasn't. You know, but we too classy to say that to people. And let somebody try to stunt. And then you're like, nah.
But I think that's a big part of your success though, because I feel like now more than ever, every sort of person in any creative field is trying to cut out that middleman as much as they can. You know what I mean? Like if they have something that they gotta sell to or have a network that they really gotta answer to, a lot of people trying to get out of that. And yourself, you know what I mean, especially in stand-up comedy, there's been lots of people who have followed the mold you sort of led.
But give credit to somebody else though.
Fair. But like when it comes to what you've done, you know, it just seems like a different level of success, right? Like you mentioned the all-star sort of comparison, right? Like you could be an all-star and not be all NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like you could get voted by the fans, but when it comes to like, these are the top 15 guys, like that's not something you can get voted on. When it comes to comedy, you can have a big Netflix special, you can have a big Hulu special, whatever. YouTube's for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like that's more of like a people's champ award as opposed to the things you've sort of like stopped putting yourself up for, like Emmys and NAACPs and all that type of stuff. The success of the people, in my opinion, seems like it's a lot more satisfying than the success of the industry.
The gatekeepers.
Yeah, the gatekeepers.
It's
you know what I mean?
It's a thing. My connection to people in my style of comedy is way more fulfilling than jokes. You know, I'm kind of helping people deal with things. You know, like loss still is one of them things that the trauma where people come to when they come see me, loss may be their one thing that help. Man, it's crazy when somebody come to your show and the lady say, man, my husband was a huge fan. He passed a month ago. We had already had these tickets. I made a t-shirt. I just want to take a picture with you and the t-shirt, which has my husband on it, and me. And it's because this is a thing that me and my husband did. When an old man comes to the show and say, man, my wife, 76 years old, loved you, stay up all night watching, died Wednesday. I came with my daughter. They held the seat for his wife, and he said, man, it made me feel like she was here listening to my daughter laugh. Empty seat, then it's me. It's like listening to my wife in the bed laughing at your stand-up. Man, those are the things. And when last week, 2 weeks ago, the dude shook me, man. Big old dude. Just walked up, couldn't say nothing. Just started crying and just laid on my shoulder. And I just like, big man, I understand. You know what I'm saying? And his thing was that his son didn't make it out of being in the street. And to see somebody make it out of being in the streets just gave him so much, you know, appreciation of the things that he told his son. You know what I'm saying? With, you know, those type of connections, you don't get that from Joe.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. I'm a different type of comic. Yeah. You know, a different type of person with people.